what's this? Raptor in another city builder game? Well, it's true. Hello again there, friends and fans. Raptor here, and welcome to a brand new city builder game called New Cities. Yes, the game will be available very soon on Steam for purchase, but right now I'm in a closed alpha. So if you'd like to see more of this game, if you're excited to see more city builders on the channel, if you love the fact that we get to build roads and bridges and tunnels and giant cities and subways and train stations and airports and everything else. Oh yeah, I know, I'm excited too. Well, go ahead and smash that like button. Welcome to all the new subs, and thanks to the developers for sending me a little bit of a key to test out the alpha. Interestingly enough, in this game they'll have mod packs, so that way you can basically download some other stuff from the Steam Workshop or elsewhere in the future, as well as the ability to design your own buildings, which is quite neat too. Now, I'm not that creative, but I do like building myself a city, so let's get started with a new city here today, and we're going to go ahead and save this one up. As you can see, I've kind of just tried a little bit of the game before, but now, for the first time in New City, we start a new city of, let's go with, oh, I don't know, let's think of something original. Maybe Raptoria? There we go. Excellent. Well, glory to Raptoria down below in that comment section, and let's get started. Now again, this game is very early, and well, let's go ahead and go with the 75. Yep, super flat. Looks like there's SimCity 2000 inspirations to this as well. So if you remember when we played Theotown, and there's other games such as democracy games, I can't quite remember what the name of that one was, but basically games where you can make nations and stuff. The map is very similar, but check this out. We can zoom in very close and allow it, yeah, check that out. It allows us to zoom in and check out the map from kind of like a really weird angle. But you'll see as soon as we start building things, it's going to be quite nice. So a good-looking game to start with, I must say. And, of course, with this being kind of one of those early start games, this looks really nice. So this is how, by the way, I got started long ago in SimCity 2000. So this is what it all kind of used to look like. And if you remember games like SimCity 3000 or SimCity 4, it all kind of looked like this too. So not so much like City Skylines, but a little bit more like those classic games. But this one definitely has heart and charm. And I do like the fact that we can do farming and other things like that as well. Well, without further ado, let's get started by putting down our town somewhere. Seems like a good spot to build our city, maybe on... Let's start on this island here, and then build up and fill up this entire area there. I don't know if we can build bridges across the entire map, but we'll get started and see that very soon. Now, there are weather effects to the game, a day-night cycle, and it all really looks nice when it happens. So let's get started by putting down some basic streets and an avenue, and I think we'll go ahead and start right here. This is a perfect, nice open space for Raptoria. Here we go. We'll build ourselves a nice little avenue to begin with, and of course we can build roads in pretty much all directions. And it's not as free as most games. Like, you do have to connect to these notches, but it makes it a little easier to build things. And I really want to see the ability to build highways and train stations and stuff very soon. Of course, this is a city builder game. There's got to be some of that stuff in the future. It's got to happen, right? Well, let's go ahead and build ourselves a nice little neighborhood here. Excellent. We will call this New Subscriberville. So if you're a new subscriber, you get to move into this part of town. So welcome. Welcome to our wonderful little city. So as you can see there up in the upper right corner, the game is giving me all sorts of little things that I need to do task-wise. So we'll get started with that in just a moment. There's two different streets we can build at the moment. As you can see, a small street and then the avenue. Avenues have semaphore control, and then also the stop signs at the streets as well. Actually, that's interesting. This is supposed to be a bigger road, but it doesn't seem to have that. But anyway, regardless, you can even zoom in and see the speed limit, which I believe is, yeah, look at that, 15 miles per hour there. And then on the avenues are stop signs, and it looks like it's 30 on those roads. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start putting down some buildings. So we'll start by putting down some basic homes. And there's a really nice way to do this. You can either click this long strip to make it go down the entire road, or you can kind of paint it in with like a large circle and paint an entire area like this. So we'll just go ahead and get started by painting corners of the road. That seems to be easiest for me, and we'll get started there. Excellent. Someone moved in. Our first homes. Wonderful. It is the spring of 1950 in Raptoria, and you can see all these little homes sprouting up. It's a really nice little game. I love it. This it almost feels isometric, but it's not, and it looks even better this way. You can see all the details of the homes, from awnings to trees to swing sets. Looking pretty good, I must say. All right, let's go ahead and put some businesses up here by the intersection. Very good idea to put businesses near intersections, because that's where heavy traffic's going to come in, so we'll start building up there as well. Excellent. We're a hamlet now. Over 100 people have moved in, and that was very, very quick. Well, we need to fill the bellies of our hungry Raptorians by building some farms too, and this must be some really fertile farmland. So let's go ahead and build a nice little country road out here and start zoning some spaces for farming. And I think we'll start it kind of this way. We'll let people build farms on either side of the road all the way up to this area here. Wow, is that a military base? Look at that. Almost looks like a giant barracks. This must be a bunch of chicken coops or something like that. And you'll see the game kind of adapting to the size of the farms, yeah, and then making them bigger or smaller based on whatever areas you've zoned. So that looks really good. Excellent. So, wow, look at all the things we're knocking out here. All right, looks like we just completed that. So that's good. Now let's go back into building some roads. Love the music in the game. It's really nice, kind of wacky, some of the songs. And that really reminds me of SimCity 2000 for sure. I think I just saw a bunch of cars speeding down the road. Wow, they're going really fast. Let's go down. There we go. Normal speed here. All right, looks like we got the OJ high-speed chase now. I see the Bronco going down the main street. I just don't see 7,000 cop cars, though, for some reason. Let's go ahead and also put on... There we go. We'll add this little intersection here. And that really looks nice. Some nice generic businesses along this road as well. Very cool. That must be like a used car lot or something like that. So it looks like we don't really need this much room between our cities. We made some of these spaces quite large, but it will help for density. So in the future, if our buildings upgrade, we could have larger apartment buildings or something there. So this next section, let's make this a little smaller. We'll try over here, and let's make a really nicely compact neighborhood and see how that works. We'll leave this for commercial areas up here, but let's convert this over to residential. Actually, it's best to do it this way. There's hotkeys for all that, too. Now, at the moment, I couldn't find hospitals and police departments and things like that. The game lets you monitor that, but of course, it's a city builder game. It will have that in the future, so we can monitor things like the city's pollution based on farms and such. Those will be the more pollutive ones. Crime, education, prosperity, value, density, and traffic as well. So you can see the very small amounts of traffic that we have aren't too much of a problem at the moment. There we go. Now we've made a nice compact neighborhood there, and that's going to allow us to get a lot more people in a small area. Another cool thing in this game, too, is that we can actually click on anywhere on the road, and with Q and E, or rather Q and Z, we can actually make elevated roads. So if we wanted to make a ramp up to a bridge or something like that to get across to a small island or something, that's an easy way to do that. So our goals are starting to get completed here. There we go. First roads are complete. We built our first houses and our first farm, and now we're going to expand even more. Cool. Well, let's see if we can expand a little bit more on our residential side. I think we can. This is kind of more of maybe the rural neighborhood, even though they do look like suburban homes. But we'll try to make this a more congested city up here, and then we'll start adding some factories now too. But of course, in order to sell the factory goods, we need to have people to sell them. So that's why we have the commercial buildings. All right, let's make a nice factory area maybe up here in this next sector. Oh, look, you can see it actually went up to the... Oh, that's kind of cool. It went up a little bit to that edge of the road. Let's make this a little lower. There we go. And look, there's like a nice little hill there. I wonder if we can make a road underneath. Let's see. I wonder if I can make a tunnel. Let's try that. Let's see if we can go down. It should be under Z. Looks like it's trying to make it... I wonder if we can make a tunnel here. Come on now. Are you going to let me make a tunnel, sir? Looks like it doesn't let us go down because it's too steep. Totally fine. We'll go ahead and make everything nice and flat here. There we go. All right. And let's go ahead and make a little area here for factories. Not going to be too large, but it will be a pretty decent space. There we go. Is that... yeah, that's nice and square. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and add some industrial buildings now. So another thing to note is that, yes, there's no power plants or anything like that at the moment, but it's quite obvious that the developers are going to start putting some of that stuff in too. Meaning nothing's really complete. This is an early access game, so you know we don't have the high-speed rail line, we don't have the airport or the seaport or anything like that, but the potential's here. It's nice that the game really runs smoothly, so you can zoom in to see crazy detail, although the game is a little more smooth than games like City Skylines or other city builders. It really runs nicely on like a laptop, I would imagine. With there not being so much detail. But that's not where the detail is, right? The detail is in seeing a huge city like this from this distance, and that transition is nearly seamless. That's really nice. Something that not a lot of people considering city builder games is when your city gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, the optimization usually tanks, and so you might have a beautiful city to look at. It'll take you 45 minutes to scroll across the city just to find a bridge. Okay, well, let's continue to add some farmhouses here. Let's make this all farmland all on this road, and let the farmers figure out what they're going to do there for land expansion. So there's definitely some great areas there for them to expand. I like the decorations around the farms, too. Some trees here to reduce erosion from wind blowing and such like that. Very nice. Okay, so we have some more homes being added. We have some more commercial businesses moving in. Let's speed up time now. We're at 252 people. It's 68 degrees Fahrenheit here in lovely Raptoria. And we have an $8.1 million loan to take care of. We have finances of all sorts to concern about. mostly about, looks like property tax we can adjust. I don't know exactly here to see the... perfect. There's our cash flow. Mostly in the negative because we're building like crazy with roads, which is to be expected when you first start your city. It's nothing but expensive because, well, you have really no money coming in. You gotta make the money by spending money. All right, let's go ahead and extend over here. I'd like to make another small little neighborhood over here and see what we can do. I'd love to... You know what I really want to do is build some parks. That would be really nice. Let's make, let's make something weird over here. Let's make something a little unusual. I'm going to try to make something like this and see if we can put some more homes in here. And then maybe some businesses, too. There we go. Oh, yeah. Definitely businesses wanting to move in. You can see the demand here, too. So demand is pretty much medium for commercial buildings, homes, and also farms. But factories not really wanting to move in just yet. So we'll build a few more businesses along this road. And then I think we'll put some more homes in here. There we go. And also here. All right, so we'll have more and more people moving in. Looks like farms are still wanting in. So let's try to add another road down here for farming. We'll see if we can tuck in some more farming on this side. Maybe they can find a space here on this side. There we go. Some small farms. Nice. And let's continue to build our road down this way. And we can even make diagonal roads, so let's give that a shot. Add a little variety to our town, our fair little hamlet, I guess. And our population now approaching 500 citizens. All right, we're almost there. To 1,000. Good. We're about halfway there, I guess you would say. Cool. All right. Things are looking really nice. Lots of farmland. Look at that. Beautiful, fertile lands of Raptoria. Look at that. That's so cool. You can zoom in like that and see it. It's like we're coming in via ship. That looks really cool. So like if we were coming in via water, that's kind of how it would look like from a distance, especially if the city was sitting on a hill. I love this. Very cool. All right, let's add some more stuff on the inside, too. See if we can fill every little nook and cranny with farms. Our people are definitely hungry. So once we've got a lot of farms, the industrial demand will start to increase, and that'll get there eventually. So let's make an industrial area that is a little bit bigger than this one, because the factories are going to be quite large once they start kicking off. So let's make a smaller, larger area, meaning that it's bigger than this one, but just not so crazy large. There we go. This is probably the best right here. There we go. And now we've got plenty of room for factories, and I'm going to try to connect this with another avenue. So that way people from the city can get in. And I want to try to make this road let's make it a little more unique. I don't want to build straight lines all the time. And so let's kind of try to make it a little curvy. We'll make it like a county road. And we'll try to make it connect to, over here at this intersection. Now, if we want to upgrade roads, that's fairly easy. All we have to do is just drag over a currently existing road. And it upgrades like that. Perfect. No problem whatsoever. Very good. So now we got a weird country road. We can add some more farms to it. Now, if we take a look at our query, we can look at issues and notice that a lot of people need to move into the city. There's a lot of jobs needed. We have too many jobs and not enough people. So the population needs to grow. So let's start focusing on that now. Good thing is this is a great way to attract people to the city is by giving them a place to work. So let's give them a place to live. So we'll continue to expand on our little town here. I think I want to do it, let's do it this way. We'll go down this way. There we go. Okay, that looks good. And we'll kind of extend, I think, all the way down to the water. There we go. And we'll kind of keep this theme up here by building roads in this long pattern. There we go. And hopefully this allows people to go to work quite easily. In other words, I want to make sure that our roads are not too complicated, that there's not too much traffic with this amount of people. Should flow nicely. Okay, let's go ahead and try a different tool. What does this tool do? Does this allow us to click and drag? No, this is individual placement. Okay, so let's go with the big O. Yeah, let's go with the big marker. Let's try this out. Nice thing is that it only snaps it on the road, so it's not that bad. Very good. Okay, that's cool. Now, we're going to have a ton of people moving in now. Raptoria is booming. And then we can also add some roads between these buildings and extend the neighborhood. So let's give that a shot now. We know we need a lot more people here, so we're asking a few people to move out. There we go. Sorry about that, folks. But prosperity is important. Glory to Raptoria. Oh, I definitely would love to live in the house near the farm, I think. One of these homes over here would be really nice. Just with the farmland in the back. Very nice. Okay. So now we've got a lot of buildings being constructed. We're approaching that 1,000 population. Let's take a look at prosperity. Measures economic activity of an area. Well, right now we've got a little trouble there in that economic area around there for lack of people working there, but also a lot more shoppers too. So commercial areas definitely need a lot more people working. And also the farms too. They definitely need a lot of people on the farms. Well, let's keep filling up the area. Very nice. All right, let's go ahead and extend here. I think we'll go to this road. There we go. Very, very relaxing game. I love it, man. I'm not stressing out about anything. I don't have a care in the world. I love it. I can't wait to see, by the way, when we can start to make trains. It would be really cool to have local trains go to different parts of a city. In fact, this is almost like a nation. This map is so huge that we could actually make, you know, each little island its own state or its own county, and then connect them via trains, or, well, I guess in this case it'd be better to do it via ship. But we could have a high-speed train line, for example, going between these two islands in the future when we get the option to do so. There is so much potential here, and that's what gets me so excited about city building games, because as you see me coming up with ideas, you get your own, and you can make your city bigger and better than me, and I'll take inspiration from you, and that's just what makes it a really fun experience, is watching everybody come up with ideas, solving problems and coming up with solutions for things like, you know, lack of health care or safety, and then there's ways to do that by, you know, building roads a certain way to allow police cars on more larger freeways or something like that so they can go in between towns, or designing really good-looking off-ramps or on-ramps, and it just makes things look awesome. All right, we are at 1,000. Excellent. Next achievement is to build 5,000 so we can build a school. So yes, there is buildings like that, as I mentioned, but we didn't get access to them at the start. So eventually we will get things like power plants and rail lines, but the potential is, wow, the potential is here. So we don't have any of that just yet, but we will get there. All right, so it's kind of neat that the first thing we get to build is a school, rather than in most games they first want you to build like a police station, a fire department. Usually a fire department's your number one, but here we get to start focusing on the economy first, which is really good. Obviously with kids in school, a few years after that, they become more proficient in math, reading, writing, all that type of thing. And so thus they'll become a better member of the economy, which means we can start getting factory jobs and such. Right now our people are simple farmers, but eventually we grew from a hamlet into a village, and so now we will see people start going to school here very shortly. Looks like I converted some of the commercial buildings into residential. Well, that could happen. We can just convert them back, and they will only go to homes if the business fails and is converted into a house. It looks like right now they all are still buildings for commercial, except for that one that converted to a house. But that's fine. It's totally fine. We'll build some more residential up here, or rather commercial, for the residential up here, and we should see everything still boom. Very nice. I'd like a way to turn on and off the day-night cycle. There might be one. So again, with the game being incomplete, there might be more options, especially with mods, for all sorts of different size schools and hospitals, and it'll be really cool to see people making mods to fit their city precisely. Obviously, you know, in these types of games, when you build a school or a hospital, it's cookie cutter. Like, it might be most effective for 5,000 people, but maybe your city has 10 and you only want to build one hospital. So rather than building the the two 5,000 capacity hospital, it might be a better idea to get in a mod that has maybe 10,000 capacity, you know, so it can heal up around 10,000 people. And then you only have to build one hospital rather than two in two different areas, which also takes up more space. So all sorts of different solutions to all sorts of different problems. Very soon we will see our factories coming in. Looks like there's starting to become a demand for it, but we do not yet have enough people in the town to get a school, which I'm assuming is going to be required to get those factories up and running. But we're continuing to make all these residential zones. Good. And we will see more things unlocked very soon. Now, I believe there's also a free build mode too, so if you want to build the game, I might be mistaken on this, but if you want to build in the game without any sort of restrictions and just see what it's got, that's definitely an option as well. And I'd like to take a look at that too to see exactly what I could build with all the options in the game. We'll make a nice little point there for everybody to go visit. Some sort of a road at the end of the street there. As you can see, we go from an avenue down to a single road, so this will be a little bit of a quieter part of the town, even though it's by the ocean. There we go. And let's make some zigzaggy roads just for variety. We'll make another one here. There we go. They look really nice. Okay, lots more demand for residential. There we go. Excellent. Okay, so this looks good. Very nice. Okay, so wow, look at that. Tremendous amount of space for our city to expand into. We have factories that will be built eventually. Not so much demand in the farms anymore. And it looks like no demand at all in the commercial sector. Let's expand our farming up here a little bit. Let's make a small road that comes off the avenue. And then we'll go back down this way. See if we can sneak a road through. Yes, we can. Perfect. And now we'll go with some more farms. Just a little bit. Just a smidge of farming. Fantastic. Alright, so now we've got all these farms potentially going to grow from there. We've got good residential demand. Check that out. Wow, that really looks cool to see homes at random. That's kind of how it goes if you live in the suburbs of the Midwest. Sometimes there could be homes in the forest between each other on a long road like that. Cool. Are things still growing? Looks like they are. Let's take a look and see if we can fix any of the demands of our people, such as pollution, crime, education. Yep, you can see here very little education here. No education at all. And we'll need that up here eventually, I'm sure. Density, traffic, value. Value looks pretty good. And still a little bit of problem with prosperity. We still need more people living here. But now we've got the population up to 1,300. So now we'll just wait as we built most of the city. There's not much more to do except for to wait for it to grow naturally. We've got nice roads going in and out. Oh, look at that. The trees actually sway in the wind. Oh, and look at those weather effects. That's very nice. I like this game during the day. It looks like a very beautiful game. 83 degrees. It is the summer of 1950. We're getting pretty steamy out there. 84. I like these diagonal farms. They really look nice. This really reminds me a lot, too, of a game called, oh, I forgot the name of it now. Industry Tycoon, I believe. And definitely makes me look at these farms and think, that looks awfully familiar. I like the look of that. But I love these types of graphics where it's like a chunky kind of voxel feel to it. Maybe not voxel, but just kind of an isometric game, but not necessarily. All right, we're approaching 4,000 population. It's now the autumn of 1950. So if we can get there before the end of our first year, that'll be great. We have $1.7 million in our loan. Taxes are bringing in a little bit of change, but we're going to save the rest of our cash for city services, such as the school, police department, whatever else that might come in. Looks like there's a lot of spaces still needing to be filled. Some two-level homes coming in. No real apartment buildings or anything like that, but man, a rough fall storm. A lot of wind coming in from the ocean there. Probably doesn't really affect much in the city, but... Oh, and now I thought we saw snow. I was going to say, do we see snow? Oh, I'm going to be blown away if this game actually gets snow and it actually snows and covers our buildings and they change appearance. I'm going to be blown away. All right, it is almost 1951, our first year, almost elapsing. More and more and more buildings being built. You can see them popping in almost instantaneously. Don't blink or you'll miss it. I see a lot of buildings just popping in here and there. Yep, there went one there. Another two over there on the right side. Okay, we're getting there. And it is 24 degrees Fahrenheit. That is definitely a little chilly, below 0 Celsius, keep in mind. Okay. Well, the population has slowed down a bit in terms of growth. And do we have any factories yet? We do not. A little more demand on the farms. Pop a couple of those in there. And let's put some along this county road, too, and see if we can get some in on this side. And we'll make some more in between. There we go. Let's get some more jobs here for our people. I was a little nervous about adding more farms since there was such a lack to the commercial buildings, but I think they might be lacking in educated workers. So we'll try to keep squeezing in the farms. And it is almost spring. In fact, it is spring. Very good. Spring has sprung. Wow, look at that giant farming area there. That looks really nice. I think I want to extend the road over here now. And let's go ahead and make a nice road up here. And we might be able to add some more farms. And let's take a look at our people's needs. Prosperity is good. Hey, look at that. No more help needed. Now they just need better workers and more money, which will come from that. Help wanted. More towns coming in. More townspeople coming in. Let's build some more roads here. Or homes along the roads. Yeah, there we go. Come on in, folks. There we go. Most of these areas are full. There's not too many spaces left that have been needing to be occupied. Okay. 4,107. And let's keep making some spaces. Looks like a big demand towards farming again. Wow, I'm very surprised at how much it takes to do that. Alright, so I haven't seen anything like large trains or anything like that for freight, and I don't know if that has an effect on, for example, industrial goods. So if we build a, for example, if we build a giant train station, it'll be a type of question of, does this add to my city? Is this worth building other than to look cool? Can we have a train pass through town and pick up and drop off passengers and also bring goods to and from the city? So that's something that remains to be seen. Still a larger demand on factories. Let's continue to add a few spaces for when they get a chance. There we go. And I think I'll build a road over there too. Still farming, nothing factory-wise added yet, but big demand, which means we need to get up there by adding more farms and more residential homes. Looks like there's quite a few residents wanting to move in. So it's kind of bouncing back and forth. A farm won't grow until a resident moves in, then a resident moves in, and then a farm grows. And you'll just kind of see it go back and forth a little bit. That farm area looks beautiful. I love that. That looks really nice, however many farms are there. Now, keep in mind, this is 1950, so even in technology times back then, it takes a lot of people to do farming. Even though there were tractors, there was still a lot of stuff done by hand. And with no real computers for anything, everything's got to be brought in and harvested pretty much by hand. Go ahead and cut this back over this way. There we go. And we'll continue to add some more homes here. And we'll make this area a little more rural, a little more space between the homes. And then eventually we'll fill that in. Now, if we had more options at the start, like the hospital and the school and things like that, we could have built that first and started focusing on manufacturing. And that's something to keep in mind for a future game, is that we'll want to set up our city based on basically getting to 5,000 ASAP. So you could almost do a pre-planned city, find out how large it's got to be, and then build it that large. So if you could take a huge area, like for example, we could have almost taken this island for farming, and then designed a town over here, and then connected them via an avenue. But that's a long distance to drive. I mean, think about if you lived here at this house. It'd take a while to drive to a farm that was over here, if you had to take all these pre-existing roads. All right, we're at 4,808. Spring of 1952, another year's gone by. We're growing real slow now, which is totally fine as jobs are filling in and vice versa. Okay, looks like we've got more farms selected. We just need more people to become farmers. And now we're a town, ladies and gentlemen. 5,000 people now live here. Excellent. Factories will not develop in the middle of nowhere. Place industry near retail, busy roads, or apartment buildings. Yes. So we put them outside of town, but now we can expand the town over here to really be a part of that busy sector. Now that we needed all those people for farming. That is crazy. So now we can start building the factories over here and finishing those needs. And of course, the factories too are going to need workers to be educated in order to work at those factories. And we'll get on that too. So we should be able to build our first school. There we are. Level 4 opens up. 2.76 million to build the school. And as you can see, it's going to be a quite required building over here. And let's build it on the main road. Let's see what the area of influence around that one is. If we build it here, that covers a big part of the city. Maybe over here instead. 2.8 million. Let's plop that down. Let's see how it looks. There we go. Yep, that definitely looks like an old American school to me. Very nice. Out of cash. We're almost out of money. Yay! Don't worry, cash will start coming in as we have more people in the city. Oh, wait. At 20,000, we can build a city hall. Cool. All right, well, we might not have money, but what we do have is the ability to, well, first of all, slow down time. But second of all, just to put all the buildings down that we need to put down in order to get that money back in. So this will be fine. Now, we are a government, which means that bankruptcy and debt don't mean anything. That's right, kids. All right. We're the federal government. That's right. So it means we can do whatever we want, and we don't answer to nobody. So what we're going to do is just build a bunch of roads here and fill it in with... what? I'm the federal government, I said. And I did the applause. Thank you. All right, well, we'll have to at least, we can take out a loan. That's easy. But I'm going to fill all these areas in with just homes. That's the best thing to do. Is it snowing already? Autumn 1952? Oh, I thought we had our first factory. I got excited. All right, let's speed up time a little bit more. Something's being constructed here. Looks like it anyway. It used to be a large holding tank, didn't it? Looks like it's upgrading to something else. Okay, well, now we have all this tremendous space here. We're actually making money, so we're not too bad off. Let's go ahead and also increase property tax, though, to like 5%. Come on, we're the government. There we go. Now we got our 1.4 million. That's what I'm talking about. Looks like those federal taxes were finally due. Good. So let's go ahead and keep putting on roads here to connect to the main avenue there so people can get to work. And then we'll just continue to paint all those buildings in. Very nice. So like you would imagine, schools and stuff at the very start, not unlocked, not necessary to build. It's good the game doesn't let you build that at the start, because if you did, there's no real need for it. Farmers and such don't need a school to go to in 1950. They need to go to work on the land to give themselves something to feed themselves. So now that we've completed that initial need, now they have homes building. So now, the glorious factories of Raptoria are almost ready to be built. The seeds have been planted, and look at that, 5.6 million. Oh, it's almost like I'm in a city builder again, going bankrupt. What? What are you doing, Raptor? All right, guys, that is it for our first episode of New Cities. It was a short one, it feels, but a good one, I think. So I will see you all next time for more. We're going to start building factories and railroads and helicopter landing pads and nuclear missiles. I have no idea what this game has in store. So we will see more of New Cities next time. You guys have been fantastic. Thanks for joining me. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't. Check the playlist for a full playthrough on this one. And thanks again to the devs for sending over a key, because this is really nice. This is very casual, very nice, very enjoyable. And I'll see you all next time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.